Grammy goes to...
I actually thought about writing a few jokes roasting you, but then I remembered what you can do to light-skinned dudes from other countries.
Kendrick Lamar!
Not good at talking about myself, but I express it through the music. God is the glory. Love y'all.
I want to let you know we play in an opinion-based sport, not a factual-based sport. So it's not the NBA where at the end of the year you're holding a trophy because you made the right decisions or won the games. This is a business where sometimes, it's up to a bunch of people that might not understand, what a mixed race kid from Canada has to say, or a fly Spanish girl from New York, or anybody else, or a brother from Houston right there, my brother Travis. But look, the point is, you've already won. If you have people who are singing your songs word for word, if you're a hero in your hometown, if there's people who have regular jobs who are coming out in the rain, in the snow, spending their hard-earned money to buy tickets to come to your shows, you don't need this right here. I promise you, you already won.
February 2nd, 2025. The lights inside Crypto.com Arena were bright, cameras rolling, industry elites seated. Another Grammy night, right? Wrong. When Kendrick Lamar walked to the podium after winning for Not Like Us, something shifted. The energy in that room didn't feel like a normal award show. It felt like a verdict. As he stood there holding the trophy, thousands in the audience began chanting lyrics from the diss record that had dominated the previous year. Not softly, not awkwardly, loud, unified. The kind of chant that makes history. This wasn't just fans at a concert. These were artists, executives, producers, peers, the same industry that once celebrated Drake as untouchable, and now they were echoing a song aimed directly at him. The moment spread instantly across social media. Clips circulated, reaction videos exploded. But something else happened quietly behind the scenes. When official Grammy uploads hit YouTube, parts of the crowd audio were noticeably toned down. That detail fueled speculation. Was it about legal caution? Reputation management? Avoiding liability? No official statement confirmed anything, but fans noticed the difference immediately. And then came the visual statement. Kendrick wore a denim-on-denim look, what many called a subtle jab at Drake's Canadian roots. Whether intentional or coincidence, in the middle of a beef this intense, nothing felt accidental. Drake wasn't there. No reaction shot, no acceptance speech rebuttal, just absence, and that absence made the moment louder. But the real twist didn't happen on stage. It happened hours later, when a grainy video started circulating that claimed to show something nobody expected. Here's what made that Grammy moment different. Not Like Us wasn't just a diss track. It became a cultural event. When Kendrick Lamar dropped it in 2024, it instantly exploded. Streaming records, radio rotation, club play, sports arenas blasting it during games. It moved beyond hip-hop circles and into mainstream pop culture within days. That rarely happens with diss records. Usually, battle tracks stay inside rap culture. Hardcore fans debate bars. Blogs break down metaphors. But this one? It crossed over. The production was catchy. The hook was easy to chant. The message was sharp and direct. And suddenly, millions of people who didn't even follow the feud were repeating lines aimed at Drake. That's when it stopped being a lyrical exchange. It became perception. By Grammy Night 2025, Kendrick walked in with 7 nominations tied to that song alone. He walked out with 5 wins. Every trophy reinforced the same narrative. This record didn't just win the battle, it dominated the year. That's rare air. And the uncomfortable part for Drake wasn't just losing awards. It was watching an accusation-based diss track become the anthem of the industry. Because once a diss becomes a chant, it's no longer just music. It's branding. And branding sticks. But just when it seemed like the beef had reached its peak on stage, something strange started circulating online. Something that made fans think the war had turned physical. Just hours after the ceremony ended, a new narrative started spreading. A grainy clip hit social media. Shot vertically, low resolution, crowded background, 2 men arguing. One looked like Drake, but the other looked like Kendrick Lamar. The caption, Grammy after-party fight footage? Within minutes, TikTok edits, YouTube breakdowns, Twitter threads zooming into frames, comment sections filled with people claiming they could clearly see Kendrick's face. Others swore Drake's voice was audible in the background. It felt believable for one reason. The tension was already sky high. Fans had just watched Kendrick win 5 awards off a diss record. They had heard thousands chant lyrics targeting Drake. Emotions were raw. So when a clip appeared suggesting things got heated backstage, people were ready to believe it. But here's the part most didn't slow down to notice. The lighting didn't match Grammy backstage footage. The audio sounded overly dramatic. The dialogue felt scripted. And frame-by-frame analysis showed inconsistencies in facial movement and lip syncing. The background noise didn't match a packed industry after-party environment. And most importantly, not a single reputable outlet confirmed it. No TMZ, no Billboard, no eyewitness reports, nothing. The more the video was examined, the clearer it became. This wasn't real footage. It was edited, possibly a deep fake, possibly pulled from reality TV and altered. But by the time that truth surfaced, the clip had already done what it was designed to do. It fueled chaos. And that chaos ties directly into something even bigger, the AI war surrounding this entire feud. By the time that fake fight clip surfaced, fans were already conditioned to question everything. Because this wasn't just a lyrical beef, it was digital warfare. Months earlier, Drake had found himself at the center of an AI controversy when a song mimicking his voice went viral without his permission. It sounded real. It charted briefly. It sparked legal takedown demands. The industry realized fast. The technology had arrived. Then the feud escalated. Drake dropped tailor-made freestyle, using AI-generated vocals that mimicked Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg. The move backfired. Tupac's estate threatened legal action. The track was pulled within days. That moment changed the tone of the battle. Now fans weren't just analyzing bars, they were questioning authenticity. Was a leaked track real? Was a verse AI? Was a voice manipulated? Fake Kendrick tracks circulated. Edited Drake clips popped up. Screenshots were passed around as proof of things that never happened. The line between real and fabricated blurred fast. So, when a supposed backstage fight video appeared after the Grammys, people didn't ask if it was possible. They asked if it was being hidden. That's the dangerous part of AI in beef culture. Once audiences accept that fake audio and visuals exist, trust erodes. Every new clip feels plausible. Every rumor feels half believable. And in a rivalry, this intense confusion becomes fuel. But the AI chaos wasn't where this war began. To understand why it escalated this far, you have to rewind more than a decade, back to one verse that planted the first seed. Long before Grammy chants, long before lawsuits, long before AI chaos. This started with one verse. In 2013, Kendrick Lamar jumped on Big Sean's Control and did something hip-hop hadn't seen in a while. He called out his peers by name. Jay, I'd Cole, Meek Mill, $, AP Rocky, and yes, Drake. It wasn't disrespectful, it was competitive. Kendrick framed it as hunger. He wanted the crown. He wanted to out-rap everyone in his class. Most artists responded with respect. Drake didn't love it. In interviews, he downplayed the verse, said it felt like attention-seeking, said it wasn't that serious. On the surface, they remained cordial. They even collaborated on tracks like Poetic Justice. But tension doesn't disappear just because it isn't loud. For years, subtle shots floated back and forth. Nothing direct, nothing explosive, just competitive energy simmering beneath public smiles. Then 2024 happened. Kendrick appeared on Future and Metro Boomin's Like That and rejected the idea of a big three in hip-hop. His words were simple, it's just Big Me. That line reignited everything. The Drake responded. Kendrick escalated, multiple diss tracks dropped in rapid succession, 8 tracks in weeks, personal angles, family mentions, reputation attacks. This wasn't friendly competition anymore, it was war. And when that war reached the Grammys in 2025, the cultural scales tipped visibly. But the real consequences weren't just musical, they became legal. After the diss tracks slowed down, the battle didn't end. It moved to court. In late 2024, Drake filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group. His claim? That the label artificially boosted streams for Not Like Us and promoted a record that, in his view, damaged his reputation. That was a major shift. This wasn't rap anymore. This was legal strategy. Drake's filings alleged manipulation, inflated numbers, a coordinated promotion tactics that amplified a diss record built around serious allegations. Universal denied the claims, calling them baseless and defending their promotional practices. Kendrick Lamar wasn't directly named in the lawsuit, but the context was obvious. The entire case revolved around the impact of that record. This is where things got uncomfortable for the culture. Rap beef usually stays on wax, maybe spills into interviews, rarely into federal filings. Now the rivalry was being dissected in legal language instead of metaphors. And here's what made it even more strategic. By shifting the conversation to bots, algorithms, and label conduct, Drake reframed the narrative. Instead of arguing about bars, he questioned systems. Instead of debating lyrics, he challenged distribution. That's a long game move. It's because courtrooms don't trend for 48 hours. They linger. But while lawyers exchanged paperwork, Kendrick made another move that pushed public perception even further. And this time, it wasn't inside an arena. It was on the biggest stage in America. 1 week after the Grammys, the spotlight got even bigger. Super Bowl 59. Over 100 million viewers tuned in. And at the center of that halftime stage stood Kendrick Lamar. This wasn't just another performance slot. This felt like confirmation. As the lights dropped and the set built momentum, everyone knew what was coming. When the opening notes of Not Like Us hit, the stadium erupted. Cameras panned across the crowd. Phones lit up. Social media timelines exploded again. He didn't look angry. He looked calm, confident, like someone who knew the moment belonged to him. During specific lines aimed at Drake, the performance choices felt intentional. Cameos appeared. Visuals sharpened the narrative. Every second reinforced the idea that this wasn't just a diss track anymore. It was part of cultural memory. Drake didn't respond. No counter-performance, no immediate musical rebuttal. Silence. And in modern perception battles, silence can be read in two ways. Either strategic composure or retreat. Kendrick, meanwhile, had now won Grammys and headlined the Super Bowl with the same record at the center of the feud. That's dominance in multiple arenas. But here's the uncomfortable part. Even with all the spectacle, the viral footage, and the cultural statements, there was still no physical confrontation, no backstage fight, no secret altercation. Which brings us to the final reality behind the chaos. Oh, after all the noise, here's what actually happened. There was no fight, no backstage brawl, no hidden altercation, no security footage being suppressed. The viral clip that circulated after the Grammys? Fake. Edited, almost certainly pulled from unrelated footage and manipulated for engagement. No credible outlet confirmed it, no eyewitness accounts surfaced, no law enforcement reports existed. In a beef this intense, that almost feels anticlimactic, but it's important. Because what this rivalry exposed wasn't physical violence, it exposed perception warfare. Kendrick Lamar didn't defeat Drake with fists. He did it with narrative, with timing, with strategy, with cultural momentum. And Drake didn't lose because of a punch. He lost the public temperature. That's a different kind of damage. The deepfake clip spread so fast because fans were already conditioned to expect chaos. AI tracks had blurred reality. Planted stories had distorted trust. So when something dramatic appeared, people assumed it was just another layer of the war. But the truth is simpler. This was always lyrical, always strategic, always about perception. The fight everyone thought they saw never happened. What happened instead was something far more modern, a reputation battle played out in real time, in streams, awards, courtrooms, and timelines. And in 2025, the culture decided who won. Whether that decision lasts is another story entirely. Now I want to hear from you. Was this the most one-sided rap battle of the modern era? Or is the story still unfolding in ways we haven't fully seen yet? Now, do you think Kendrick's Grammy sweep and Super Bowl performance sealed the narrative permanently? Or do you believe Drake's legal move changes the game long-term? Drop your thoughts in the comments and actually break it down. Not just he won or he lost. Tell me why. Was it the bars, the strategy, the timing, or the way the culture reacted? And let's talk about the AI angle too. Are deepfakes and digital edits ruining rap beefs, or just evolving them? Because if one fake fight clip can spread that fast, imagine what the next few years might look like. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button so more people can join the conversation. These industry moments move fast, and we're here to unpack what's real and what's manufactured. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. When the next chapter drops, whether it's music, legal updates, or another viral twist, we'll break it down without the hype and without the cap. This era of hip-hop isn't slowing down, and neither are we.